Marlboro cigarettes. I'm Anderson, quote unquote character. There's bare questions here. How do you explain? Right, first things first. I genuinely believe, pretty much know, that people are portraying like they got accounts online pretending to be myself. Like, worrying thing is they literally have access to accounts of mine. So they could make it pretty convincing, I can imagine. Given they have, like, I don't know, videos, photos, like an iCloud study, that sort of stuff. Well, they could make that very damn convincing. I'm sure they're running a WhatsApp as well. So, yeah, I find that I'm being violated in that sense. With people running a bloody WhatsApp. Like, obviously pretending to be myself, doing it through my bloody mobile number. And, like, with access to all those pictures and vids, they could be portraying me as literally anything. They could be having weird conversations with people. You don't know what people are doing. And, like, even if you look at, like, so I'm rolling a cigarette, visuals back in a sec. But, like, even if you look at, jeez, like, people youngers, they believe that Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion, just an example, they believe their pictures took together because of the Photoshop thing and, like, AI and all that, like, used to make and create that sort of thing. Another example, people even believe X went to prison, like, and had about loads of times and had 6 or 7 different mugshots. Loads of them are bloody fake, but people believe it and buy into it. It's actually crazy how people get fooled, like, by that sort of thing. Like, I was saying to Kanye West, like, how many hours ago? 4 hours or something. From the Team account as well. It's like, I think it's like the top bloody reply under one of his 3 tweets on his Twitter account thing. Yeah, I'm not even sure that, that Kanye. Wait, let me just read what I wrote. Might be easier. Because oh shit, I don't want to lose, one sec. I don't want to lose all these questions. 1 second. I can do this. Right, so, on the realized bars, what do you call it, Twitter X thing. Right, exactly what I said. I don't want to lose the fire, passion, anger thing. Would it be under that one? Where Kanye's put that comment, rather a bit explicit, innit? That's, yeah, myself on behalf of Team here. I'm beginning to worry that Ye might not even be in control of his account. It is more than possible. And then if he is, hopefully, man, I see that. Kanye, check around you. Do you got a handler around you? Do they prepare your food or offer to get you a glass of water? Anybody who thinks people don't get dosed against their will is behind and no doubt in an ignorant state of bliss, which I actually envy. Worried about Ye. Nobody should have to ever be in the state to post these, to be honest. What's going on behind closed doors? It's unfair on him, but society will end up so busy slating him that the majority won't stop to care for what's happening behind closed doors and or in his mental and physical too. People should be asking questions. There's some other things rather. Can't get to yeah. Other okay. That's that. That's just someone's post something there. Literally, I guess defending Kanye West a bit because yeah, mental health matters, humans matter. Freedom matters. It's wrong when this is the key point. It's wrong when the whole world. And it'd be wrong if one whole community, even, or one whole little road, even, were bullying someone, especially over words, as opposed to any vicious actions that have to do. Wait. Especially over words, as opposed to any vicious actions that have done harm. Eh? Oh, right, especially over words as opposed to like vicious actions that have actually done harm. For those who don't get what's said here, just don't want to see Kanye get bullied by the whole world to the point where he becomes a shadow himself. I'm not supporting any of the hate he has shown in his tweets. I think if you study them and look over everything, yeah, it does not actually seem as though he wants anybody to be physically injured, nor emotionally scarred for life. He's arguably being reckless with a keyboard, but not with an atomic bomb. Just facts. It's hardly gonna, like, say man is having a genuine, some kind of mental health breakdown in any sort of way. It's hardly bloody good for him for the whole world to disrespect and mock and take the piss out of him. And I'm not justifying shit. Don't get it twisted, please. Because that ain't right. You shouldn't automatically, like, look, I'm discarding everything he said out of my mind, you know what I mean? We're rolling then. But to look at it from a human, just like a human point of view, basically. But humane perspective, whatever. However, you want to look at that, like, let me show you some stuff. Fuck it. I know it sort of takes it, big up for the thumbs up, thank you. I know it sort of takes this a little tiny bit off track if we, one second, what are we saying here? Let me just share this. Y'all feel free to share as well. I'm going to share it on Team Twitter. Don't know if that's the best idea, but fudge it. It's done now. So, yeah, that's done, right? I think. Hopefully we won't have one of the so lovely followers or whatever leave us, because, yeah, my worry is they'll leave more because of the Kanye thing, but you know. Right, so Booker. Don't ask why Booker and Farizzle have become like sayings or whatever of mine these days, but them have sort of become that. Alright, so I like the same as cigarette. I want to show you guys what's on it. Right, I need to show you. Right, Kanye definitely. Do you know what? I'd be way more worried if Kanye is genuinely having a mental health kind of crisis, or more likely, and it's possible, that it's a case of him being handled, controlled, drugged, manipulated, basically mind control style. Because if you look at it, man, he's not got, he has little outbursts sometimes. It's like when he realizes the ish that's happening to him. That's when he seems to have outbursts. Or if he tries to say something, tries to speak out, then he next has a bloody, like a little crash down. What's that for? Like, it serves the purpose of, like, the other side. Say he was telling the truth. All of a sudden, no one's gonna say he said that someone did something. Well, no one will believe him all of a bloody sudden, will they? Because, he's at they'll just be throwing it in the press. He's crazy. Da 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 da. How can I reword that so it makes a bit more sense? All right, let's say, all right, put yourself in this position, right? Say you're controlling someone, right? And they begin to speak out. They begin to remember things. They begin to, you know, get some guts and their head screwed on, and they articulate themselves well all of a sudden, and they're exposing you, right? Well, what would you, what would it not be in your best interest if they have a little breakdown, you know? Make them seem crazy so that no one even looks twice at what they said, kind of thing. Right, this is why we need to actually focus more on, 1 second, there's some very important things that we actually all should look at. Because, listen, I don't think this has F all to do with Jews and Nazis. I don't think Kanye gives a damn about neither. I think maybe he's trying to draw y'all in to look at.
That's how they try to,
you know,
categorize. They can't control. You
what
know
he
what I'm saying?
was.
They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley.
You know, we're in trouble. Does that look like a guy who's mentally unwell?
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
He's coherent, articulate.
They can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
But he's saying he won't be controlled. He's fighting back.
I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying?
He's fighting back.
I don't take no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody. Right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Michael Jordan. What about him?
Was it not obvious that after dose him with fuck knows what they give him?
A lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a
Fuck
lot
knows
of
how
that.
they played him to make him,
traumatized.
you know,
They want to monetize and traumatize.
come out with an outburst to make him look crazy so that what?
You understand?
So no one takes note of any of this.
Yeah, Adidas, all that away. Still Forbes, who hate me, right? Had the right net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important than thinking alive.
That's the thing.
Yeah, what if Kanye is literally sectioned right now, and someone else could be controlling his media right now too?
That have to listen to y'all because they're dealing, they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Don't be silly, yeah? They'll put you in a bloody mental hospital.
The first indication that West might become a massive problem for the industrial deception complex came in 2015 and 2016 when Donald Trump appeared. And West had a very strong reaction to Trump that was very positive, and the people around him were panicked by this. The last thing you could have is one of the most popular...
It's strange though, isn't it? Normally, if you have a mental health problem, people, normally there's signs of it, you know, like when you're very, very young. Do you know what I mean? You don't normally just suddenly go a bit quote-unquote batshit when you're like 28 or whatever, or 30, or 32, or older. What was yay? Yeah, that ain't normal. Makes you wonder if it's more a case of him being drugged, controlled, manipulated, riled up. Just, you know, there's many a thing to
pop culture figures
that whole
in
thing.
America coming out for Donald Trump. So they applied intense pressure to get him back on the script. And apparently his wife was part of that, his former wife, Kim Kardashian, who West now learns had a very close relationship with the Clintons and people around the Clintons. He had no idea. His relationship with Trump, on the other hand, flourished, and he got a window into the people around Trump. And in this clip, you'll hear him assess what happened inside the White House. Very interesting. Watch.
Found it anyway.
It was interesting. A friend of mine told me that
Oh, was I gonna put that on?
Chris and Kim had called him because he had influence inside of the black community.
I'm sure they drug the hell out of Kanye time to time. It
to
ain't
say,
normal the way
to
that,
get
and
him
it's not standard
to
mental health
influence
problem
people
neither.
to take the vaccination.
It just ain't,
And
don't come across like that.
I don't have an opinion on that. I just want to state that as a flat statement. But it was wild that I didn't know how close my own wife was to the Clintons.
I remember when
know,
Ye
you
also
know.
said that film Get Out,
I didn't realize it at the time.
you know,
That you were
he
married
relates
her.
to it like,
And I was married to her. How close was she to the Clintons? I mean, cell phone away, like, or hey, tell Ye to say this away, or hey, go out and use your platform to push the vaccination away. I mean, not away, but like take the away part. But do you feel like at times you were manipulated by political forces through your wife? Attempt manipulation. But yes, there was some manipulation. Me not saying I like Trump. It was a
okay,
form of
we were supposed to be
manipulation,
delving deeper
for sure.
into some other stuff.
Why
The
did you like
saddest
him,
thing, yeah,
by the way?
a lot of people ain't even gonna be down to even watch and understand, like, you know, parts of Kanye's, how you put it, basically his story kind of thing. Yeah, we just watched this, but
That's
not
scary.
as
They can't
a
control you. They can't.
little short, man. I
They
need
try to
to,
suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize you.
gotta
Can't
bring up
control
the,
you get what I'm saying? That I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
love doesn't got a real mama, but
Michael Jordan. What about him? His daddy, right? Out in
But you
Hollywood.
speak on that, trust
A lot
me,
of people come
they
up
will
missing.
dose you or manipulate you until you have an outburst
Feels like it might
XYZ,
be a lot of that.
and then they
in
will
order to
section
control
your ass, you know?
trauma. They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley.
Yay,
They
mate.
can control LeBron James.
They can get your photos and
They
videos
control
to a
Jay-Z
fake
and
account,
Beyonce.
portray you, and do some craziness the way that people around me done did that to me. I'm sure they have.
None of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody.
But it's not really about whether or not you've killed someone, yay, man. But let's, where's that? Wait.
I'm married to
This
Donda
douche,
West.
though.
So
Him, oh my
I'm
lord,
married to
he's
Donda
just
West, then I don't
gagging
think
for
she'd be gay.
attention, man. Tia Plonk, this one, this Orlando from That's So
Did that
Raven
answer your
back in the
question?
day.
See, this is the
Ma-
best
Can
thing
I
when you
read,
can
boy?
touch this nipple and squeeze that motherfucker and just.
What is up with him?
I honestly think
That's
it's time for
like
people to stop doing
faking,
interviews
I don't know
with
if he's
Orlando.
faking crazy, what the
I'm
fuck he's
married to
faking.
Donda West.
But I remember
So-
this Orlando Brown douche,
If I'm married to Donda West,
he
then
was
how can she
like,
be gay?
what do you call it? Rolling around with
Did
his
that
little
answer your question?
compass and
See, this is the
square
best
G
thing when you can touch this
Freemason
nipple and
necklace on,
squeeze that motherfucker.
trying to do a rap career. Next minute, he's here pretending to be
I
the
honestly think it's
weirdest
time for
form
people
of
to stop
crazy
doing
that you've
interviews
ever
with
bloody
Orlando.
seen. Because
I'm
ain't
married to
no
Donda West.
mental health
So-
patient or anything behave
If I'm
like
married
this
to Donda West,
douchebag
then how
Orlando
can she
Brown.
be
I
dead?
swear, they just don't. I mean,
Did
sheesh.
that answer your question? See, this is
You
the
wanna
best
doubt
thing when you can
Kanye's
touch
mental
this
health
nipple and
problems?
squeeze
Hell,
that
fuck.
motherfucker.
Look at this douche, this Orlando guy.
I honestly think it's
Unreal.
time for people to stop doing interviews with Orlando.
For
I'm married to
Rizzo.
Donda West. So
Because, yeah, that Orlando one's just a donkey. Alright.
But if everything Dr. Adams said is true, then Kanye knows the real truth about what happened to his mom. Interestingly, in April
What, and you think he'd
2018,
be allowed to
Kanye
speak?
claimed the cover of his 8th studio album, Love Everyone, would be a photo of Dr. Adams, and he said he wanted to send the message to forgive and stop hating, implying that he didn't really believe Dr. Adams was to
shit, I
blame.
got it.
But if Dr. Adams wasn't responsible, then who was? Does Kanye know something about his mom's passing that's hidden from the
bless.
public? Well, here's where things get really
Alright.
weird.
One
But if
second,
everything
people.
Dr. Adams said is true,
I
then
just
Kanye
gotta
knows the
I'll move this to the other screen, which, you know, is... Wait. Oh, fuckity fuck. Alright. Booker. Let's go. 1 second. Yeah, let's rock and roll with this one. Because we gotta go through this Kanye stuff, man. Because this ain't fair anymore. Oh wait, what the? We're missing our sound, eh?
Now, I love the shoes you have on, but I saw you had these backstage.
No, I was wearing those earlier, but I'm wearing my shoes now. You wear your shoes, I'm gonna wear my shoes.
I decided to sign these and like bring these out. But if you don't want to wear them,
No,
just
come
sit
here,
them right
wait. No. But what do you mean, you signed them?
here. Yes.
Look at that. Thanks a whole lot. Now why do I want to walk on that, now that you signed them? Now I'll sign mine for you and I'll give them to you.
Thank you.
I sent some to Kim, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
I ask about them.
Yeah, you should. I'd like to ask her about them. I sent them to her. No, she wears them. I've seen them. So congratulations on the brand new baby. He's how old now? Look at that. Not a care in the world. He is absolutely beautiful. Now, we do feel, Portia and I feel responsible for naming him. We sent you, remember that? We were sending all these names, and she sent St. Vincent, but it's pronounced Saint, and I knew you were going to see Saint and go, do you remember that? We were sending tons of names, and then you wrote back, I like Saint.
No.
Do not act like you don't remember that. We were sending a million names.
That's odd in itself, isn't it, this one?
All right, well, it happened. And how is the North is a big sister? She's good?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
awesome.
She's not jealous in any way?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mostly does she do anything to like take care of him? Or she's too young?
No, she does.
What does
She's
she
really
do?
advanced for her age.
What does she do?
She'll prop him up on the pillow. Sometimes.
That does sound advanced. Now, are you done or will you have more children? Do you want more children?
Give me a quick second.
Does Kim want more children?
Perhaps.
That's not what she said.
That's what she said?
Yeah, she doesn't want more.
Okay.
But you want more?
Let's see what happens.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. Nothing. I mean, that's really thoughtful. Because you're so creative, you must have all these ideas and just look forward to, like, events so that you can do that. Do you ever do things just for the hell of it and it's not an event, not a birthday or a Mother's Day?
I think when you're in love, every day should be Mother's
one
Day.
sec,
Every day should be
peeps.
like a birthday.
There you go. You're also very open-minded, and Kim credits you for helping her kind of accept and understand Caitlyn's journey into Bruce becoming Caitlyn. And where did that come from? Where did that understanding and compassion come from that you would help them?
Just my mom and my dad, like, pushing the confidence.
You
and
can
just,
tell that they've
knowing
got
that
Ye
people have
on
to
some,
be them themselves, and we have to fight. We're creating
I'd
new
say
shapes
like,
in the world every day, and we're under attack
think more
constantly
like
by conventional
either
opinion.
sedative or
And,
antipsychotic
somebody's
or a
gotta just plant both of
benzodiazepine.
their feet and say, nah, that people can be who they are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to say that?
Big love for that thumbs up.
You can't say that.
You know, I should drop this as like, yeah, he's just reopened his Twitter. He's got like, what,
Take a break so the censors
3
can get a hold
tweets
of
or
this.
something on there. Like, Realize Boss
Back
Team,
and
this
curse
account,
some more with Kanye.
top
We're back
tweet
with
on 2 of
Kanye
them.
West.
If I drop the link to this, maybe we could get some more people in.
and talking about you really do.
Come
you
on,
express
man,
yourself, and
they're
sometimes you
dosing him.
express yourself in ways that people don't really understand, and you express yourself in ways that you're unapologetic for. Like you send things out on Twitter. And sometimes, like Kim has said, and I'll tell you this also, I don't know if she's told you this,
Maybe
along
we
with
can
not
get
wanting
people,
more
you know,
children.
thinking and
but
questioning and looking
Kim
at
has
the
said
whole
that,
I'm finding
thing.
this practice.
yeah. That's all you get to do. But Kim has said that there should be a board of directors that goes through your tweets. Like when you have an idea, you should give them to Kim and a
Oh,
bunch
right,
of
he
people,
should
and they
be
go,
handled, should he?
okay, you can tweet that, or no, you cannot tweet that. Do you think you should have a board of directors?
Absolutely not.
No.
Of course he shouldn't, he's a
Everything
grown
you
man,
tweet,
he's
you think
doped
even-
up,
have you
probably
regretted
against his
anything
will,
that
but...
you've tweeted?
Nope.
Nothing. Never. You don't go, maybe I should have thought about that a little longer?
What's the point of thinking?
What's the point of
The
thinking?
hell meds have they got him on there?
Sometimes, I understand, but sometimes there is a point to thinking. And then you tweeted out that
Ellen,
you
mate,
wanted
he
Mark
had to
Zuckerberg
think to say
give you
that, duh.
$53 million. In hindsight, should that have gone on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah.
I should have put it on Facebook. Now I understand why he didn't hit me back. He was.
Yeah.
I understand that Zuckerberg doesn't use Twitter.
Yeah.
Even though I have had dinner with him and his wife and told him about how I wanted to help the world, and he said,
let me
"Help
try
me,"
plug
and
this.
then, blah, blah,
If I
blah.
shoot
Like that's how it
apart a
feels.
bit.
You know, it's like the pursuit of happiness. Like it's like you're trying to sell
Literally,
this
we'll
bone
do that.
density machine or something. You know, in that movie. I feel that if I had more resources, I could help more people.
Makes sense to share it around a bit.
I have ideas that can make the human race
They obviously knew
existence within our
he was
100
dosed
years
up.
better. Period.
It's worrying what
The
kind of drugs
paparazzi,
that they
whatever
get peeps on.
perception you have
Peeps with
of me,
handlers and that.
starting with the truth.
The guy who threatened
Starting
Kanye
with
that he,
anyone's thinking.
you know, playtime will, the kids will never be the
Start
same
there.
unless he goes and
Put some
talks to him, etc., and don't even swear. That dude worked with the CIA, military intelligence, testing basically mind control drugs.
Okay, I'm with
Jay
you.
is in the building. Throw your mama
I mean,
in the air right now. Put your hands in the air right now. Yes.
can't believe you changed it to Jesus.
All right, I'm with you
Oh,
on the
is
truth
that in
part.
regards? That's a Kanye thing.
What do you say? Put some dope with it. Just give
Alright,
me one
visual
example.
time, 1
Just,
second.
what the idea is, because maybe somebody watching will give you the money.
We're in a renaissance period. We're in
At the
a
end
place
of the
where
day,
people are like
he's a human
multidisciplined artists,
being.
like Steve McQueen that directed 12 Years a Slave.
At
He was
least we
considered
hope
to
he
just
ain't
be
being
a
replaced with a
photographer,
synthetic.
but then he won an Oscar. We're not
So,
in a place where
we
people can only
need
have one
to
career, one profession throughout their
help
entire
our fellow
life. So
human beings,
the
innit?
exact amount of
Not allow the whole
emotion
bloody
and
world to
color
bully
palette and
them
sonics and everything that I put into my
or
music,
slate them
I put them into the
because,
shoes. And they worked. You know, people never write. Kanye
know,
is pissing everybody off. Kanye's making
I
so
don't
much.
think
They
he
try
got
to
some mental health
position
problem
it
years
through the media in
on
some
in
way
life.
that I'm like,
You got
whatever your friends
hypnotized,
might say. You know,
dosed,
so I saw Kanye. How was
handled,
he? Did he like? But I care
traumatized,
about people.
drugged,
I care about. My dad lived in homeless shelters less than 5 years ago.
enslaved.
To find out, he's a psych major. My mom was the first black female chair of the English department at Chicago State University. I was raised to do something, to make a difference, to take, you know, I didn't take the Oscars as a joke. It was funny, you know what I'm saying? It was like the moment,
This
like
is hella
all black,
disorganized.
you know, actors can
Like,
talk
the
about
way
the
that-
glass ceilings that we've dealt with out in this town.
Yeah,
and
the
this is
way
the
this is
you
coming
get your
on.
night. Go ahead. Chris Rock's gonna do it. Bam. Talk about how many times you've been blocked from being able to excel. I didn't take it as a joke. It ain't no joke, as Rakim said. It ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it and make sure it's broke. That's what I was raised on. Rakim, Fife Dog, hip-hop,
Rakim, fuck's sake, man, it's a shame most of the youngers don't even know what Rakim is.
And everybody's trying to try. I get
Imagine
how
some of
much
them
you
probably
sold.
don't even know about
If you
DMX.
playing on radio,
Had a broad
are you
body.
connecting? Picasso is
Not a true
dead.
friend, but
Steve
he
Jobs
didn't
is
even know
dead.
DMX was dead.
Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody living that you can name in the same breath as them. Don't tell me about being likable. We got 100 years here. We're one race, the human race, one civilization. We're a blip in the existence of the universe.
Yo,
And we
his
constantly trying to pull each
handler
other
dude,
down. Not doing things to help each other.
who worked with military
That's my
intelligence,
point.
pretty much mind control drugs.
It's like I'm shaking talking about. I
It's
know it's
just
daytime
mash up what
TV, but I
they're doing
feel
to
that I
this
can
dude.
make a difference while I'm here. I feel that I can
'Cause
make
he ain't
things better through
faking
my
that.
skill set. My skills, I'm an
That
artist.
ain't acting.
5 years old, art school, PhD, Art Institute of
It's
Chicago. I
worrying,
am an artist.
'cause that is
I have
not
a condition
acting.
called synesthesia where I see sounds. I see them. Everything that I sonically make is a painting. I see it.
Bro's traumatized, enslaved,
I
mind
see the
controlled,
importance.
drugged,
I see the importance and the
hypnotized,
value of everyone being able to experience
played out, man. It's,
a more beautiful life.
bro.
When I make clothes, it's funny because I would sit there with Obama and Leo's talking about the environment, and then I'm talking about clothes, and everyone looks at me like that's not an important issue or something. But I remember going to school, like in 5th grade, and wanting to have a cool outfit. I called the head of Payless. I'm like, I
How in the
want to
fudge
work
can
with
I
you.
make this so there's no
I
light
want to take
reflection?
all this information that I learned from sitting at all these fashion shows and knocking at all these doors and buying all this expensive clothes, and I
That is
want
one thing I
to
hate,
take
is the
away
light
bullying.
reflection thing.
You know, I want to.
Trust me, that's only gonna issue though, because this light reflection shit is gonna happen.
Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons
See?
is the reason why I was able
Fucking
to go so
stupid
far
ass
in
light
music.
reflection.
There was a time when
What
Michael
about, like,
Jackson couldn't get his video on MTV because he was considered to be urban. The Michael Jackson. So I literally have to be Michael Jackson of apparel in order to break open the doors for everyone that will come after I'm gone, after I'm dead, after they call me Wacko Kanye. Isn't that so funny?
But it ain't.
The people point
It ain't
fingers
funny.
at the people who have influenced us the most. They talk the most about the people who cared the most. I'm sorry, daytime television. I'm sorry for the realness.
It's not daytime television anymore. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to play 5-second rule, which should be very fun with Kanye. We're back with Kanye West.
Bro,
We're
did
trying
they
to get him to come
deliberately
out
have
of the
him on
shell.
there dose the hell up? Like,
First of all, before we play the game, we didn't talk about the album, Life of Pablo, which is, I assume, Picasso? Is that what you're talking about, or it could be anything?
Well, there's Picasso, there's Escobar, and there's St. Paul.
Okay, so we don't know. So it is a brilliant record, and congratulations. And it's.
alright, we gotta move forward. I need to get
As
these
they
visuals
are.
moving.
And of course, you remember that I came up with the title. Remember I texted you that?
Alright.
All right, we're going to play a game, and it's called 5-second rule. So here's the thing, Kanye. We have 5 seconds. Remember that, 5 seconds to have 3 answers within 5 seconds. And then you hit the thing afterwards. I'm going to do it first so you know how fast 5 seconds goes. All right? Goes fast.
Okay, Ellen, tell us 3 things you shave or wax.
Your legs, your arms, your back.
All right, Kanye, give us 3 things that are hairy.
Balls.
Bro, they got him in like a childlike frame of mind. Fucking worrying. Alright, how are we gonna do this?
Three
Right,
balls.
we're gonna move this thing down here.
I'm not sure if I explained the rules properly. So, 3 different things, and balls maybe could have counted for
3
2.
different balls.
No. All right. Give
All
him
right.
that point and he'll learn. Okay.
Here we go. This
Name
might
3 ways to surprise your spouse.
sort of
You get a string orchestra. You rent out a stadium.
might not work.
And,
Might work.
You...
God, that is messy-ish.
We know when time is up. You don't need to
Okay.
give him a hard one.
Name 3 things that get you in trouble with your spouse.
The internet.
He's dosed. Dosed up. They didn't know that before he went on set, on stage, etc.
We all had so many ideas in our heads.
Alright, 1 second.
All right,
You always forget.
this kind of question.
Is that going balance?
Yeah, name 3 things you do when no one is looking.
Smile.
Oh shit, what the fuck is this? Alright, so I'm gonna drop the link on Kanye. He reopened his Twitter, right? I don't think it's mental illness. I think it's mind control. I'll show you his handler. Like, you don't think it's a bit weird when a man's handled by someone working with military intelligence, mind control, drugs, and threatening him? Oh, come have a sit down and apologize. Do not swear. Or play dates with the kids will never be the same again. Like,
You know, the downfall
I don't think he
of Kanye West
loves
is
Nazis and
directly
hates
related
Jews.
to
No,
Don C not being
I really don't think
Around.
that's.
and because
That's
at the
how
very
it feels.
beginning of my career, right when I was growing up and Manat was managing me, because Manat manages me now again, we rebuilding, what I can do, and it's a new, speaking third person, it's a new Kanye West that you're going to see that's going to be better because of this mental health situation. It's going to be better because of this TMZ situation, and Don is actually, he's actually in town right now because I just told him I need him to be there for me.
You know, I gotta run to the bathroom. So it's like. Yeah, we won't be able to get proper into this for a quick second.
I think it's
That's what family's for. That's what family's for. And you came home to your family.
Do you feel like music is a real outlet for you, Kanye? Like if you couldn't press record, it's not about us hearing it, it's about actually making it.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I'm so blessed and so privileged because think about people that have mental issues that are not Kanye West that can't go and make that and make it feel like it's all good. Think about somebody that does exactly what I did at TMZ and they just do that at work, right? But then Tuesday morning they come in and they lost their job.
Mind
And
control
they can't go
handler.
back and make
He
that.
spoke
that's
out
why
about
God
his
put
mother,
that on
innit?
me at age 40.
Being
I never been
sacrificed.
diagnosed until I was like 39 years old and stuff. So put that on me
What do you
as
mean by diagnosed?
diagnosed with a mental condition. Yeah.
And we, I think,
Yeah, it's not normal to
does everyone have something?
just suddenly have, a mental
I think everybody got something. But
health
like I said,
condition
on the album, I said
later
it's
in
not
life or
a
mid,
disability, it's a superpower.
And
like,
and I
it's more likely his brain was fragmented from the trauma that the brothers enslaved, drugged, handled, controlled,
chopping up samples. And
lack
it's
of
very
independence, lack of
therapeutic
freedom.
because I wasn't
The
full
brain
yet. I don't know if I'm
shatters,
full yet
yeah.
now, or better or worse, whatever. But it was therapeutic just to listen to those songs and sample and go back to being 14 years old in my mom's house. I feel like you avoided this album type.
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean what it says right here on the.
I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. I have a theory about you, so tell me if this is correct. I feel like you feel like being bipolar is part of what makes you brilliant, part of what makes you you, and you embrace it.
Yeah, I think that's another one of those things where people are like,
But
"How are you going to
that's
talk
your
about it?" The
thoughts
funny
that
thing
you're
is, this is something
basically
I was
having
like on
him
the
not
internet
alone to,
before.
you know?
It was kind of funny, but
it's not an opposite.
Why didn't you
It's
ask
not
him
I
a
hate being
question?
bipolar. It's awesome. It's actually, it drives more of how you really feel. It doesn't do an opposite thing. So I think it's important for us to
UFO, you might just be
have
drugged,
conversations
handled,
about,
hypnotized,
you know,
enslaved
open
and shit.
conversations about mental health, especially with me being black, because we
opposed
never
to
had
being
therapists in the black
mentally
community. We
unwell.
never approached like taking medication, and I think it's good that when I had my first complete blackout at age 5, my mom didn't fully medicate me because I might have never been gay. And there's times where at least I'm happy that I
What does
know,
Bro even
like
mean
even
by
like
the word
for this interview, I
blackout?
knew I wanted to stay in a calm state because by the time I got to TMZ, I was ramped up. So what was awesome is that the world got to really experience someone in a ramped up state. And that's when you get these comments that just shoot out, like almost like Tourette's.
Because you have highs and lows, and when you have a high, you're on a roll. When you have a low, you're
well,
not.
there's some cases of bipolar where people go low. I'm one that goes high.
I see.
Like Michelle Obama
So
said.
you don't have extreme periods of depression?
Oh no.
No.
Oh no. Because I just say it. I'll say on real TV, like, oh, I thought about killing myself, and then the thought is gone. You know.
Wow. So all people need to do is get on TV. That's really the solution. So all people need to do is get on TV. That's really the solution.
Well, they need to be able to express themselves without fear of judgment. What I love telling people is like, who do you know? And let's go, especially black men. But you know, I'm 41 years old, and I don't know anyone, you know, that up as much as I have, that's still as successful. So I want to prove that you can get fat, you can say the wrong things, you can piss a whole
And you can be president of the United States.
Well, yeah, it's
But just in literal terms, there are
I
families being
remember
torn
literally
apart
Trump.
at the border of this
Not
country.
really
There
sure, I
are
doubt it, but
literally families
Trump
being
saying
torn
that
apart as a
basically
result
he put him in the
of what this
hospital.
president is doing.
What
And I
helped?
think that
He was
you know,
part
we
of the
cannot
team
forget that whether we
made
like
sure he
his
went to hospital.
personality or not, his actions are really what matter. I mean, you so famously and so powerfully said George Bush doesn't care about black people. It makes me wonder what makes you think that Donald Trump does, or any people at all. Why don't we take a break? We'll come back and Kanye West.
Define it for me. What is the mechanism that is malfunctioning or is taking a break in your brain? Do you know?
I wouldn't be able to explain that as much, just you know, because I'm not a doctor. I can just tell you what I'm feeling at the time, and I feel a heightened connection with the universe when I'm ramping up. It is a health issue. This is like a sprained brain, like having a sprained ankle. And if someone has a sprained ankle, you're not going to push on him more.
Right.
With us, once our brain gets to a point of spraining, people do everything to make it worse.
And the memory of your mother, you carry with you each day, and who are her grandchildren?
This would have been the funnest time of her life, to have those kids running around that house and being able to like go and buy them toys. And I remember my mother bought me a bear that was multicolored, and I was very into Takashi Murakami at the time on that third album, Graduation. She bought it. She said it kind of, you know, feels like Takashi Murakami. And then I was sort of like, I don't want that. That ain't no Takashi Murakami bear and stuff like that. And then she passed, you know, a few weeks after, and I did, you know, everything I could to find that bear and place that bear on top of all the Takashi Murakami stuff I had in the house.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's here with us, and she's guiding us.
May end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people. Please come.
In the past few days,
was gonna go down for 1 second while it just touched it. I can go around. That's the thing. I can really do my
We're going to hear from him in a moment, but first, as we've mentioned, President Bush opens up in his new memoir about that famous moment when West said George Bush doesn't care about black people. It's something I asked President Bush about when we sat down recently in Texas.
I didn't appreciate it then. I don't appreciate it now. It's one thing to say, you know, I don't appreciate the way he's handled his business. It's another thing to say this man's a racist. I resent it. It's not true. And it's one of the most disgusting
things. Alright, 1 second. Just so I can get the damn most disgusting moment of your presidency, like
Afghanistan and the financial meltdown, and he's pointing the finger at Kanye West and that incident as the worst moment in his presidency. I asked Kanye West to respond to President Bush's remarks.
As far as it being the worst moment of his presidency, you know, I can't really speak to that, you know, but as his take, his explanation, I completely agree with it. I empathize with totally. And I felt like that the entire time, that, you know, I was being, you know, hailed as a hero, and everyone saying, yo, I'm so happy you said that, and I didn't like you before, but now I like you because you said this, and you just sit there and you know, in your heart as a person that to an emotion, you know, in a moment of emotion to peg someone or to call a name or peg someone as a racist is not, it's just not right.
Yeah, there was great frustration with the response to Hurricane Katrina. And there we were standing there. It was just a few days, less than a week afterward. But while most people expressed frustration, you did take it across a line, and you said you made it a little more sinister, that the federal response to Katrina was because of race. And so do you regret having said that now?
I don't want to speak on the word regret. And I think a lot of things that happen in America, period, are because of race, just the way this country was built and the struggles we've had to get into, you know, positions, you know, through media, through social positions, through gentrification, through like so many. It's a way bigger conversation than that. But what I wanted to speak to with Bush was just to say that I empathize with the idea of being pegged as a racist.
Just play the tape. Don't even listen this time. I want you to just look at his face when he is commenting about you. And just look at him. I mean, this is the most emotional he got during my entire 3.5-hour interview with him. What would you say to him if he would meet with you face to face? And I'm not sure he would, but if he would.
You know, I mean, I didn't need you guys to show me the tape in order to like prompt my emotion to what I'm going to say. You know?
No, I'm just asking you, when you look at his face, what would you say to him?
I mean, looking at his face, I came up here because I wanted to say something to him right after the fact. You know, I would say, you know what I'm saying? It's like I only have to do the TV stuff with me. This is reality. This is the real thing going on. This is, you know what I'm saying? I don't need all the jazz. I would say to, can we be quiet for a second? I would tell George Bush, in my moment of frustration, that I didn't have the grounds to call him a racist.
And you're sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry for...
I think I get the point.
I want to give it the exact perfect wording, because everything that I say gets taken and drawn into headlines, and I'm here to man up to different mistakes that I made and speak to the moment when I pegged George Bush as a racist. I came here to say that I made mistakes, that I've grown as a person, and that it's not as easy as boxing someone into a villain role or into a race role. I did not have enough information in that situation to call him a racist. That might have been the emotion that I felt. But me being a rational, well thought out
empathetic human being and thinking about it after the fact, I would have chosen different words. Even in these times where I was considered to have done something so wrong, my motivation was from a good place. Maybe mistimed, maybe not the right word, and not using or realizing the power of my words and the way they would stop the internet. But nonetheless, that it's very pure and from a good place.
So it sounds to me, not to oversimplify it, what you're saying is we're human, we make mistakes, but we have to learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And during the interview, Kanye West also told me that he empathized with President Bush because he too, talking about Kanye here, was called a racist when he interrupted Taylor Swift at the 2009 MTV Music Awards. As we often do on Today, we rolled video of that moment during his answer. We're going to show you his reaction in a moment. But after our interview, Kanye fired off several tweets, including this one, quote, "I really wonder if Matt Lauer thought that blank was cool to play the MTV clip while I was speaking about Bush," end quote. Here's the moment Kanye's talking about. We're alluding to when you walked onto the VMAs and grabbed the mic from Taylor Swift, and some people said this wasn't a guy expressing his musical preference.
Yeah.
This was a guy who was making a statement about race, that Beyonce was better than Taylor Swift, and you got accused of racism.
Yeah, exactly. And and it was so funny to me that it could be a race thing, because what I was expressing was my frustration from years and years of seeing, you know, yo, how am I supposed to talk if you're gonna run this thing in the middle while I'm talking?
It's under. You won't be hearing
But I'm hearing it while I'm trying to talk.
Okay, can you take the sound out of the overheads, please? Just pick up. You said it wasn't a race thing.
Please don't let that happen again. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's something we do every day when a guest is talking about an incident.
Y'all might as well get the music ready, because this is finna take a while.
Sad mango, man. It made a slurpy sound because
When I had my accident,
ain't that weird.
I found out at that moment, nothing in life is promised except death.
The fuck is zoomed?
If you had the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past.
True.
And then you gotta tell those Al Bundy stories. You remember when I... But, right now is my time and my moment, thanks to the fans, thanks to the accident, thanks to God, thanks to Rockefeller, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, G, my mother, Rhyme Fest, and everyone that's helped me. And I plan to celebrate. I plan to celebrate and scream and pop champagne every chance I get, because I'm at the Grammys, baby. I know everybody asked me the question. They wanted to know, what kind? I know he's gonna howl out and he's gonna do something crazy.
Bring the energy back to the
Everybody
stream,
wants
right?
to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
We gotta do MK Ultra wasn't the only MK project or program. You had Delta, Naomi, and I can't say more. I already said too much, didn't I?
That's enough, man. That's enough. I'm sorry, Lindsay, what you say? Lindsay Paris is the what? What'd you say?
Yeah, in that case, I think a handler's just told her, deny what you just said or whatever. Could get transferred out potentially, though. Depends on what's going on.
Paris is your friend. Lindsay loves Paris. No. Are you being sarcastic with me? Good night, Lindsay. Good night, Lindsay. Take care, all right? All right, thank you.
Where's the ace thing at on it? Oh, I said I'm putting some energy up in there first.
No. Good night, Lindsay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's sexy. What's going on with Lindsay saying bad things about Paris? What's going on there?
I don't think there's any discord at all between Lindsay and Paris. I think the two of them get along just really well.
All right.
I mean, that's my impression.
So how are the evening's festivities with all the girls hanging out together? Lindsay, Paris, Nicole?
Well, let me tell you, for me it's all just joy and I get tremendous delight and energy from the sustenance of these lovely ladies.
Is Amanda the new Lindsay? Wow, I hate asking that, but brand new reports say former Nickelodeon star Amanda Bynes is about to check into rehab. Sound familiar? Amanda is in a whole heap of trouble with the law lately. She's actually showing shades of a once troubled Lindsay Lohan. I sat down with a poised, impressively mature 21-year-old Amanda Bynes, who explained to me then why she and Lindsay Lohan didn't have much in common at all. You clearly have your act together. Let me go through my little checklist here. You haven't been to jail?
No.
No jail?
No, not yet.
Rehab?
No.
No rehab. Amanda Bynes, what kind of a starlet are you?
I know. What's wrong with me? I don't know. It's shocking how it's become popular to go to rehab, right?
That's what.
It's very odd, but I don't know. I guess I would say I'm very lucky. I have a great family, and I just have my eye on the prize, which for me is a long career, and I don't want to blow what I've worked so hard to achieve.
Well, that certainly is the right attitude, and I'm happy to hear you saying that. Yet, I know that you must deal with a lot of the same pressures that somebody like Lindsay Lohan does, and you two are the same age. Britney Spears has a lot of pressure as well, and all these stars that we do see getting into trouble, yet you've really managed to stay away from all that and not fall into those traps. Yet I have to imagine you can see where that might be easy to do and why it happens.
Well, I agree to a certain point. For me, it's actually it's not that hard. To me, I get that you go to clubs and you hang out with those people that maybe it would be easy. But I'm not interested in that. The club scene and drinking doesn't appeal to me. So it's actually easier for me not to do it. I have no problem. I've never even been offered drugs. And people, when I've told them, have been shocked.
What town do you live in? Yeah.
I know, because I don't go. Even if I'm there, I'm surrounded by people who aren't interested in that. Birds of a feather flock together,
Sure.
and I definitely don't fly with that crowd.
Well, and certainly for a long time, you have had people around you. It comes with the business. People make your life more comfortable, and the thing that escapes a lot of people is the reason there are certain luxuries that stars are afforded is because of the work. We make sure this is taken care of, or you have a driver so you can do better at doing your job. But a lot of that gets into people's heads, and they have the wrong attitude about entitlement.
I agree.
And all of that. So
I think people take advantage of the opportunities and the things that people do give you. For me, I'm just grateful. I appreciate that people and anything that anyone does for me. Maybe it's because I have parents who worked really hard to earn money. My dad was a dentist for 30 years. He went to USC and he wasn't given anything. His parents worked really hard to. He didn't grow up wealthy. So I saw, and my dad used to always teach me the value of $1.
Done dope, and most of them around you have you just going too far.
I so badly want to be Catherine Hudson that I don't even want to look like Katy Perry anymore sometimes. And like that is a little bit of why I cut my hair, is because I really want to be my authentic self, like 100%. And
character.
so it hurts, you know, when I don't feel like I can.
Or she put on a bit of an act and, you know, perhaps just
You know what was going on in my life at 15.
I don't know.
That's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Did you ever have some bouts where Katie just didn't want to go on?
Yeah, I wrote a song about it.
Okay.
That's what I guess I do. That's how I process. Is I write songs.
And you get rid of those feelings. Those
Well, yeah.
feelings.
Some of them don't come out fully, and that's why I still do the work.
Which song was that? What lyric comes to your mind?
By the grace of God.
Okay. They're very close to you. They're very close. They're heartfelt.
You're doing
It's hard because I get on tour.
Mind control.
And it's hard because
thing on
I'm
live
ashamed.
TV.
Oh.
Because of course Katy Perry's so strong.
We're talking to Catherine. She's sitting back.
But it's hard because I feel ashamed that I would even like have
Are there
those
tears,
thoughts,
or is she
you know, and
acting?
feel that low or that depressed.
Hold up, were there tears? I'm just curious.
But it's hard because I feel ashamed that I would even like have those thoughts, you know, and feel that low or that depressed.
I'm not too sure those were tears or just a little bit of water running down. I think with this one she's a bit of an act.
Because of course Katy Perry's so strong.
Dismissive of people going through that shit when you act it out
it's
for
hard
attention.
because I feel ashamed that I would even like have those thoughts, you know, and feel that low or that depressed.
I don't know. This though, this is timed for the music. I mean, seriously, girl, no one collapses like that. Who's gonna tell her? Is that? Oh my God, that's not believable, honey. That's not a collapse, bruh. Look, and then you gotta mute it now, man. That's lame with that one to do.
Inadmissible evidence. Not allowed in the courtroom. Has no basis whatsoever. Nobody to back it up. Nobody to say it's legit. And
This dude here,
why is it being shown?
he makes some
Very
truth
curious.
with a load
They
of
constantly
BS.
say that she is impaired. I tell you that what you're looking at there is an alter, which is what happens when you use trauma-based mind control. You split the mentality of these people into fractures, like a mirror. And each personality doesn't know the other personality. And what we see in this tape, and we're going to look at one more time, is Anna as a 4-year-old child. You'll notice that she doesn't have any idea of what Howard K. Stern is talking about when he asked her about the mushroom trip. She has no idea what he's talking about when he says this footage will be worth money. And I can tell you straight up right now that this is a 4-year-old girl mentality that you're looking at, and this is her original alter that we're going to witness.
What do you think, Anna? Is she gonna be, is Riley gonna be your new makeup artist?
Huh?
Is Riley gonna be your new makeup artist?
We're gonna use these first, buddy.
I mean, Anna was definitely under a shitload of mind control
Have you
throughout
found a new makeup artist?
life, but
I don't know.
I just have to
You're gonna be
question.
wrong.
I question everything, so the authenticity of this vid is included.
He's an evidence.
Because of the fact she was broke time. But then again, it wasn't
How
released
should
till
you
after she
feel on
was
the water
deceased.
slides?
But
You're pregnant. If you're pregnancy, your heart's bad, if you have a broken bone or a back condition.
she's out of her head. I mean, the people around her were dosing her
I
heavy.
think I'm having some gas trouble. Why aren't you pooting then? Does it hurt? It hurts. And
She's way out of nut.
I need some gas poop stuff so I can poot it out.
Actually, yeah, no, that does seem like an ulcer.
He does.
A child's drug ulcer. That's wrong.
Yes. The clown needs some medicine.
She even said in an interview, right, when she was a lot younger, that she was put through a lot of mind control.
How do you feel now?
No wonder Donald Trump said she wasn't as stupid as, as some people would have thought.
You can't.
And that she was actually quite smart.
You're paralyzed. Just like that day when you did nothing.
She probably wasn't all that astute and intelligent when she was in a 4-year-old ulcer, but
Now, sink into the floor.
I remember around certain someone, and every time she came, think that bloody thing, I was literally passing out, not enough. It was weird, man. I should have been feeling that when I watched that. With the Al Roker thing, dude, there, I think I'm not too convinced with that. That could easily just be, freeze framed up, like a tech, dumb attack, or just, again, concentrating.
That could only be the musical stylings of Victor Oladipo, who is the reigning two-time champion of the All-Star Weekend player talent show.
You are talented. I give you a little credit on that. A lot of credit. You're very talented. I mean, you're not a karaoke guy like me, but you can ask. They call me old brown eyes, right?
As a matter of fact, you both have experience singing New York, New York. His was at the Slam Dunk Contest. Yours was in Vegas.
Yes.
We had the show out there. Here's just a little sampling. You see those two mics back there?
You made up your own words.
You see those
Wait, that was the words.
The Rockets have now won 17 of their last 18 at home and 12 in a row in their gym. They've only lost one game at home since February 9th, and that was to Golden State. But now they've beaten Golden State twice in this series, and we're all knotted up at 2
Oh,
apiece.
another thing,
Right
right?
inside, Shaq's right there.
Yeah, I do think Spears,
Kenny's
right?
right there.
Someone in the group
Chuck is
around
down
me,
there.
right?
What's up, man? Were you mugging over here?
Well,
No, never.
let me explain this.
I don't know what you were doing.
I've been in love with you since 1989. I would never do it.
I don't really sound weird,
Thank you
right?
very much. And 12 in a row in their gym. They've only lost one game at home
If
since
I were to
February
have a
9th, and that
quote-unquote
was to
handler,
Golden State. But now they've beaten
there
Golden
were
State
one
twice
around me,
in this
which
series, and we're all
arguably
knotted
some
up
people
at
would argue
2
there is, right?
apiece.
Basically,
Welcome to inside. Shaq's right there. Kenny's right there.
Group of people she's like close with
But
whatever.
it's been a heck of a ride, to be honest.
Like
I really can't
their
complain.
son shows
yeah, I
me
was
on his
kinda,
phone
I was a little down.
videos
I found out I
of
was
a
injured
realized
and I had to
buzz
have
account
surgery
here
again, or
that
with another knee.
like from what I can see,
But at the end of the day, I have
or what I
have
knew
amazing
and what I
teammates.
know, I deleted.
Guys like Draymond, everybody
Yeah,
on
on
this team,
his
they
phone, he
come
can see
over
it.
there, they wrap their hands around me like, yo, bro, watch my nigga Jalen
Makes
Rose.
me wonder if
Look at my nigga Jalen Rose. You tell me that ain't that's a fucking robot or some shit. That ain't no fucking human being. Look at this nigga. He didn't move, blink or nothing.
If this channel, if I don't get to see
Bro, look at this shit.
the truth of what is and isn't on it. And that dude, that is a synthetic, by the way.
Too, man.
It's a synthetic human like that, for sure. That right there, on that screen,
No, they got him too.
synthetic humanoid.
No,
Replacing
this shit
people.
wicked than a bitch. I just peeped this shit watching the game in the finals.
They took most of any evidence of that kind of stuff that people found, they took it off the internet. They take most of that off the internet. Well, they'd take it all if they could, I believe. But yeah, that's no human in that image with the blue blazer. Like, it's interesting, like, imagine 5 years ago someone tells you that
Marshall
phone
Mathers.
can create a story from a sentence in
He's going to
seconds.
join
You wouldn't
the
believe
Saturday
it.
Night Crew with our
You wouldn't
music
believe AI
intro
existed.
starting next Saturday night. But
Now
folks, I want to
imagine
take you to the world
government
premiere
military and that
of
had
one
that
of
50
his new
years ago.
videos.
What do you think
called
they've
Bruce
got now?
Take a
You
listen.
think synthetic
Sorry,
humans don't
lots of
exist?
leave.
Think people
A
can't be
little bit.
took away to a hospital
Yes,
or a
I'm sorry, what was the
prison or
question?
whatever?
Yeah, I'm really uncomfortable right now.
The reason they call it rehab, you either get in line and get with the program or you get replaced. Or you just get bumped off. In my fictional world.
She's not going to do anything to you.
When I was making love to my old boyfriend, I used to think about women sometimes.
Oh, good lord. I'm sure he was delighted when you told him.
I want to say this thing about mind control rituals done on pretty much every one boy or girl. Well, it can be done on boy or girl, whatever. It's a thing about masonry, Freemasonry.
It's like, you know, we're out of time, so I have to let you go. It says toss the break. Just acknowledging all of the accolades
Higher
and success
level,
and the
obviously,
talent.
not
Great to see
bloody,
you all. Congratulations. See you at the Oscars.
not in
And
it,
here's me
it's
not asking a question.
last,
We'll be right back.
not third.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. And if you miss any of my interviews or G's interviews, don't forget eonline.com. Keep it there. Get all the Grammy stuff.
Yeah, that's why
Ladies and
Chuck's
gentlemen,
interested in it. I mean, what was one of the questions that was some dude asking Tom Cruise's character, is she over the rainbow or is she whatever the other thing? Basically, how she programmed, you know, what kind of woman is she, basically, so to speak.
Have to be cured.
It was horrible.
Of course it was horrible. Violence is a very horrible thing. That's what you're learning now. Your body's learning it.
I just don't understand about feeling sick the way I
On
did.
this
I never used to
channel,
feel
you
sick
got
before. I used to feel like
something
the
good
very
you should
opposite.
go watch
I
on
mean,
Realize
doing it or
Boss
watching it, I
channel
used to
here.
feel real honest.
The agent and the
You felt ill this
handler video
afternoon because
I
you're
done
getting
did
better.
years ago.
You see, when we're healthy, we respond to the presence of the hateful with
channel.
fear and nausea. We're becoming healthy, that's all. By this time tomorrow, you will be healthier still.
As this 1952 CIA memo says, the aim is controlling an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will, and even against such fundamental laws of nature as self-preservation. But it was a discovery here in Basel, Switzerland, at Sandoz Laboratories by Dr. Albert Hoffman, that led the intelligence agencies of America to believe that they had found the panacea. The discovery was lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD.
The guy who was like Kanye's handler, possibly still is. Like, he's working for, you know, intelligence services, working with experimental and, you know, like mind-controlled new age drugs.
Drug that was different.
Just bring up what he said to Kanye about, you know, you either come talk to me and don't swear, or,
This is the first time Gittinger has been interviewed publicly.
hospital and you end up medicated out your brain for life and play dates with your kids will never be the same.
After all of these years of us,
I mean,
those of us who are involved in looking for this
yeah,
secret
you
drug,
tend to get damn traumatized
this was the
even
only
more
thing that
when you
began
got
to look
people
for the first
threatening
time like
you
it might be
with
something
being
like
sectioned. If you go, you know, behave and
CIA's
walk and
interest
talk
in LSD
like
was
they
intense.
ask of
The
you.
worry was that the Russians would get hold of it. Were the Soviets into
It's a
LSD?
shame that the average person
I'm going to have to say
would
I'm
never
sure they
bloody
were.
believe
But If you ask me to prove
the
it,
press
I've
and,
never seen any
you know,
direct proof.
honor all that if they, come out and start talking about it. Because even if they did, they get peer pressure by everyone to,
Hypnosis, and even surgical manipulation of the human brain has all been researched thoroughly by the CIA.
Remember, people, you must not believe that MK-style programs have continued to this day. You must think mind control programs stopped half a century plus ago.
The greater effort required to rise from the chair, the longer time needed to complete the simple task.
I don't know why the fuck mind control programs would have ever stopped, but you must believe that they did.
Roll it back. He would then literally remove the skull, the top part of the skull. Patient all this time is under a local anesthetic, completely conscious.
My own point of view, the most unexpected finding was to discover that a mild electrical current applied to the surface of the brain causes a patient to have a memory from his own past sometimes.
Imagine when you like cut your like skull open and somebody like touch their brain, touch your brain with their hand. How that would hurt you.
What in the world were they looking for with the magic mushrooms?
I think the best answer to that is that they were looking for fundamental information on compounds that would be capable of causing changes in behavior, changes in mental attitude.
Did you ever consider what would have happened if any of these substances were given to, say, unwitting people?
Oh, I don't remember having considered that specifically.
What if you... I trust perhaps you've thought about it.
Well, I haven't worried about it. Your question again, what would I have thought had I known that
any of these substances would
have been given to
unwitting persons?
You mean a hostile agent of another government?
No, I
think that was probably one of the things they had in mind.
Testing it out on an American citizen.
You have to test it on your own people first, you dope.
I guess I must seem very cold-blooded about this, but I don't recall ever having been very much preoccupied with that issue.
But many drugs were tested in this way. A decision was made at the highest levels of the CIA to do testing on unwitting Americans. As one CIA document says, such testing would be operationally realistic. A former CIA official who worked on these programs describes for the first time how the decision was made. He did not wish to be filmed or recorded. Thus his remarks are read by someone else.
I think every last one of us felt sorry to attempt this kind of thing. We knew we were crossing the line. Every decent kid knows he shouldn't steal, but he does it sometimes. We knew damn well we didn't want anyone else to know what we were doing.
The decision was made to do testing on unwitting victims. It was decided they should be on the fringes of society because they were most vulnerable.
It was the borderline underworld. Prostitutes, drug addicts, and other small-timers would be powerless to seek any kind of revenge in case they found out.
History will judge the role of the CIA and other intelligence agencies in unwittingly contributing to the counterculture of the 60s through their intense interest in LSD and other hallucinogenics. But for the moment at least, the argument can be made that the CIA helped usher in the age of Aquarius. By far, the most chilling experiments we have uncovered took place at this Gothic estate called Ravens Crag, halfway up Mount Royal in Montreal. It houses the Allen Memorial Institute of Psychiatry of McGill University. It was here that the CIA funded a series of experiments, severe experiments. The work was done by the Institute's then director, Dr. Ewan Cameron. It is the closest experimentation to
Cameron
brainwashing yet
worked with
disclosed.
MI5 and that.
His work, unprecedented in psychiatry, consisted of three areas
I'm
which
sure
he
he
called
worked MI5,
sleep therapy,
MI6, like
psychic driving,
certain
and the
programs.
ultimate de-patterning. Dr. Maurice Dongier, current head of the Allen Memorial Institute.
In his psychic driving, so-called type of therapy, he would give a patient intensive electric treatment in order to make the patient regress deeply, become forgetful, and then he would
Kanye West couldn't actually remember anything for like weeks when he
in
come out.
the mind of the patient.
Now, to a layman, it would appear that Dr. Cameron was trying to take the slate and wipe it clean, the slate being the mind. In other words, brainwashing.
Exactly, that's a very good comparison.
The next step was what he called psychic driving. This involved almost endless tape-recorded messages and more drugs for the patient. Cameron wrote that this was the way to make direct controlled changes in personality. The most severe technique Cameron used was de-patterning. He described it as breaking up the existing patterns of behavior by means of intensive electroshock therapy with prolonged periods of sleep. He carried out these experiments in something he called the sleep rooms. But documents clearly show that the CIA was attempting to develop agents over whom they had as much control as possible. Agents who would perform tasks contrary to their own good.
Normally condemned American. He's been trained to kill, and then to have no memory of having killed. His brain has not only been washed, as they say, it has been dried clean.
Is a Manchurian candidate, controlled by others, to do things against his will, possible?
I would say the answer is yes, but there are many qualifications to that.
Dr. Milton Klein, a psychologist, a clinical and experimental hypnotist, and unpaid consultant to the CIA.
The qualifications would be the subject selected to produce the kind of behavior that you wish, the amount of time, the procedures that are utilized, and the motivations of the people who are designing, executing, and administering the procedures. You're asking whether an individual can be, under hypnosis, influenced, coerced, persuaded, shaped to perform an antisocial act, or a destructive act, or an act of violence. My answer would be yes.
Cameron used this combined sleep electroshock treatment on patients as long as 30 days. One patient he kept asleep for 65 days. Cameron retired, and his successor, Dr. Robert Cleghorn, ordered a follow-up study on the patients treated with Cameron's de-patterning method.
Showed that it was no more beneficial in its result than the use of more conservative methods.
But the follow-up study showed that 60% of those who had been de-patterned still had amnesia for periods of anywhere from 6 months to 10 years. That's quite a memory loss, isn't it?
That is a memory loss, indeed it is. It's more, I think, more than desirable.
In retrospect, does Dr. Cameron's experimentation and his treatment appear harsh?
I would say yes. This forceful type of approach that I was describing to you is definitely, it can be said that it's harsh.
Neurophysicist Dr. Jose Delgado is financed by the Office of Naval Research. In this experiment, the bull is sedated.
Oh, this
Electrodes
is
are implanted in its brain. Delgado transmits an electronic impulse to the center of the bull's brain.
Literally can move the thing around.
Delgado has remote control of the animal.
Do you think they have done that to humans?
Recently released CIA documents refer to the feasibility of remote control of animals, and that special investigations will be conducted toward the application of selected elements of these techniques to man.
As you can admit, but it's not just that. Like,
was isolated by Stool and Hoffman in a
what makes you think synthetic human beings ain't about?
But in 1943, Hoffman became temporarily psychotic through accidental ingestion of the drug. The door swung wide open for research into the nature of the schizophrenic process, and in a larger sense, into the biochemistry of psychosis.
TV's Paul Coates of Confidential File undertook to film a model psychosis in our laboratory in an attempt to impress upon the public, through a case of artificial insanity, that the mentally ill is not inhabited by the devil. The battery of psychological tests compressed into 4 short hours will not be shown here. Our attention will be focused on the experiences of our volunteer subject, Bill. 12 o'clock and we're ready to start this experiment. I'm going to give you this cup that contains lysergic acid 100 microgram. Will you drink it? How did it taste?
They often
Had no
pay
taste.
people
How did it look? Colorless. Now, will you
like
tell
this
me your
to
name?
participate. Obviously, they don't pay like the
This is a good
more
time to do
vulnerable
the
members
control
of society.
EEG, so we go next door. In less than 2 hours, LSD will reach its climax. In most subjects, the alpha index drops.
With one
and the frequency
branch of
analyzer
an
will show
MK
the gradual
program, they
emergence of
literally
the
had
fast
like
frequency
was it
Single light
a
flash will block
glass
the alpha waves
wall
for at least
that
twice as
they
long
could see
period as
through,
it does
but
now.
the prostitute
It
on
will
the other
modify
side
each
couldn't
time
see
the
them.
visual illusions Bill is
They would
expected
be
to
putting
see
LSD
as he
in
lies in a
the
dark cage with
prostitute's,
his eyes closed.
I'm not sure if it was drink or whatever, but she'd be
Well, you told me
on
not
acid,
long ago that you were hungry.
and you'd have CIA
what I'm hungry for
peeps
is
watching
not this
her
sort of
through
thing, because
the one-sided glass or mirror, I think it was.
This feeling, this joy,
Something like that.
which seems to be coming from everything.
Yeah, those
But somehow
prostitutes that got
don't seem
involved
like
in
I'm
that did
myself.
not get
I
paid.
feel as though I'm several
They
other
didn't
people,
choose to be
and all of them
involved
better.
either.
And all very benevolent. I mean, even I feel about that I'm not being I'm not describing the word benevolence the way I mean it.
What follows now is called by Bill a messianic experience. Universal love, joy, benevolence, and above all, the split between thought and feeling. Close your eyes and just concentrate on your hands. Is there any difference in its weight, in its substance?
This one seems heavier.
The left one seems heavier
Seems more positive.
than the right.
The other seems more. There it is. I feel these lovely colors vibrating all over me. Oh, it's lovely.
Any lines?
Oh,
Any forms?
just like the shimmering water, you know.
You can put your hand down now. Come on, describe it.
He had his eyes closed. I didn't even like practically in a dream state where he's seeing himself and seeing colors.
Do you feel happy?
You know, that he then associates with the feeling in his arms, you know, so that's how it describes.
Is that a beautiful experience, would you say?
I would say yes.
Describe it again.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's like
just
you're in a dude
giving
climax, you know, in a weird ass way.
You're doing fine. Just try to describe it.
Oh, you don't know. You want to give yourself. You want to give yourself as much as you can.
What happens when I do this?
I don't know, sort of nothing much except that sort of getting somewhere and you interrupted it.
I see.
Sort of irritating.
You're trying to wipe out
I know, but
information
I
about
thought
MP
maybe
Delta or something?
because this experience was getting to be a little overwhelming. Isn't that right?
Well, I wouldn't say. I'd like to keep it up.
305. This is where the LSD effect usually goes into a decline. But Bill is still at it.
But such benevolence.
What do you mean?
I feel very benevolent.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel as though,
more commonly known MK Ultra, they
I
say
have no
it
end
was
in the
like
world,
illegal human
This
experimentation
is very
program.
lovely.
You feel
Very fragile.
Ain't no one
delicate,
go to jail,
And it goes and comes, you know. I mean,
you know?
that one state there that
It was illegal,
I
I
never
thought nobody
experienced
got
anything like
punched or
that.
nothing.
It's marvelous.
On the whole, do you feel happy or do you feel...
I feel so happy.
They would also
What happened to this
actually
feeling,
abuse
messianic feeling that
people
you described
part
before?
of MK Ultra, like
I feel that it's
you know, verbal abuse,
if that's what I
sexual
described, that I
abuse,
feel that it's very valid.
psychological
Yes, but what, do you still have it as
manipulation,
strongly now as you
sensory
had before, or is it
deprivation,
weakening?
It's weakening, I suppose, or it's
planting
becoming more
false
well defined, I
memories,
suppose.
using
Do you have the
hypnosis to
general
create
feeling though that you're coming
amnesia,
down to
using
earth? So
other
Yes, I do.
drugs.
one last burst of ecstasy. At the end of this hour, he noticed the weight of his mic, the sweat of his shirt, the stomach that was empty. He asked for food. A grandiose delusion implanted upon the loss of body feeling was over.
Mind sciences, or the study of human behavior in relation to the mind, is the newest of all the arts. It's less than 100 years old. And it is by far the one that is most cloaked in secrecy.
Imagine you had MK Ultra victims who were military personnel, who were CIA employees, doctors, government agents, obviously prisoners and mental patients.
And in the Nazi
They
ideology,
seem to get
they
picked
had
on
something that was
first,
called
you know,
wealth and
picking on vulnerable,
which
you know,
means worldview
members of the
warfare.
German
The idea
army.
for them was imposing the Nazi worldview on the countries that they had occupied. The Americans picked up this idea, created an American version of it, and called that psychological warfare. You try to understand psychological warfare and try to understand the American approach to post-war efforts to control people's minds, both as individuals and on a mass scale.
The whole thing
There's
is
a lot of
just an
illusions
excuse
about
to,
how that was done.
you know,
Were Nazis involved in that
for having
process?
conducted the experiments and then what, you say, oh, because that was over, that's proof we're not doing it no more, that kind of bullshit.
Was a United States government sanctioned CIA operation
There's loads
for
of
the
them different
importation
projects,
of
and there's
Nazi
like
fascist
Brain
scientists
Tree
into the
and
United
like
States.
Elder Tree or fucking loads of them. Anyways, subscribe to Realize Bars.
We don't bring
I was bored of this myself. But yeah, Realize Bars, REALEYESBARS. So what makes you think that sound in the background ain't, you know, like a lot of sounds, a lot of ish, it's almost the shit they play on the radio, you know. It's, how can I put it? It's, produced, and it's designed to be able to manipulate your mood. All that's been studied. Like, it's not so much about playing with the frequencies, although arguably that's a key part. But yeah, we'll be back on in a couple minutes. So yeah, I guess we'll see you there. Perhaps. You just right at the bottom. Subscribe to the channel here, obviously, and spell like that in the comment section there. See you in, I'll say 5 minutes, right? Probably be 3 minutes, but yeah. See you there, mutes. And we'll go into and with more energy. 5 minutes. Sub up, Realize Bars channel, baby. Unfortunately, I'm your host for today, but yeah. Anyways, peace.